See, people who want help, they join class. I don't dey laugh. Gege's class does not have qualifications for the men, but to join my class as a woman, these are three things I need to tick. Number one, you must not depend on any man for money. You must not, because you go dey fall our hand. Number two, you must have a skill or some skill sets. We no dey look. And then number three, you must be ready to be morally upright. No Opue until marriage. Una dey look una sef less o. You wey be say the man life be no sweet until God introduce you. Don't forget, man bin dey garden dey do anyhow. As God introduce woman, everywhere begin to love. Come dey use dey play. See, this my class, I go financially empower all of una, because na money dey bring all these things. Money, 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 money. Una dey whine. If you wan join, just take your number for comment section. Student 001 002, let's go. Because what the hell? See, people who want help, they join class. I don't dey laugh. Gege's class does not have qualifications for the men, but to join my class as a woman, these are three things I need to tick. Number one, you must not depend on any man for money. You must not, because you go dey fall our hand. Number two, you must have a skill or some skill sets. We no dey look. And then number three, you must be ready to be morally upright. No Opue until marriage. Una dey look una sef less o. You wey be say the man life be no sweet until God introduce you. Don't forget, man bin dey garden dey do anyhow. As God introduce woman, everywhere begin to love. Come dey use dey play. See, this my class, I go financially empower all of una, because na money dey bring all these things. Money, 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 money. Una dey whine. If you wan join, just take your number for comment section. Student 001 002, let's go. Because what the hell? See, people who want help, they join class. I don't dey laugh. Gege.
You are once again welcome to Evangelist Imakalo, the treasury of excellent knowledge. This young lady or a girl is by name Julie Adugo. Julie Adugo, that is her Facebook name. It is about Gege economic politics on relationship, on sexual relationship, both in marriage and in fornication and whatever sexual relationship. But it is more precise on fornication relationship than the economic politics, as most of us have had the Gege opening a university where he educates men on how to economize their spending over women in the name of relationship, whatever, and how the young women had begun to react over that. And that definitely, their reaction is a proof that the emphasis of Gege is real, that there is a kind of obligatory monetization of sex in favor of the women against the men, more especially in Africa and in Nigeria, to be precise. And I made a video yesterday, and that video is titled Fornication Part 8. Then the subtitle is Gege's Economic Politics. Now, this lady has come up this time to make this video as a countermeasure to Gege's University for Men. So this young lady is coming up with her own university. I don't know the name the university will be, but by Facebook page, she is Julie Adugo. So her own university is for the women. And the reason I have come up to analyze her video is because I am in love with the idea of her video. I am in love with the idea of her video in the sense that her video is about human development. It is not about contending negatively or just fighting the Gege economic politics unreasonably. So Gege has created a venue whereby people begin to react. And the people's reaction is now creating a venue for us to come to face the reality. So this video is realistic. I really love it. I really love it. The ideology is on human development, more especially on women development, single women development, to be more precise. Here in Europe, where I live, all over the Western world, sex is not really monetized. Sex is a stuff for pleasure in relationship, whether in marriage or in sin, in sexual immorality. Why is it like that? It is because in the civilized, this world class as a world defines civilization. In the civilized countries, like the European countries, American countries, and some other Asian countries, there are places whereby no particular gender is regarded to be too special in terms of making money. Anybody can have the opportunity and the privilege to be making money, and legitimately. In essence, both male and female are developed by skill, by education. That is every opportunity a man has in the country, a woman also has the opportunity. Okay, let me restrict it to opportunity of becoming president, because it is not rampant for women becoming president of the countries, both in Africa and other parts of the world. It is just very few. So I may restrict on that. But here in the Western world, women have the privilege to contest. It may be that they are not so serious in contesting over the presidential office, or maybe they are restricted from that. I can't really tell. But if I want to know, I will go and research for it. But in many areas in the school, men study, women study. The young men, the young women, just as we have our equal opportunity to study in schools there in Africa. That is the same way it is here. So, but the difference is that we Africans have developed the wrong notion. And this wrong notion came from our cultural foundation, cultural and traditional foundation, and not from secular civilization, to make us believe that men is compulsorily the provider for women. Compulsorily. That is in every circumstance. So with that cultural and traditional mindset, we use it to overshadow the reality of the society, the reality of our education, the vision for education, because under normal circumstances, education is about empowerment. It is enlightening us, both male and female. So through education, skills can be acquired, insight will be possessed, the visions and creativity can be developed. But it happens that as it happened to be as if, even though education, after the education graduation and whatever, the financial responsibility remains for men, both in marriage and outside of the marriage. To the extent that even some of the women who make their own money have the mindset of they will not be contributing into the relationship. And to most of them, all they can offer is sex and to have everything the man can offer. That is what has become the bone of contention, which has aroused Gege and his university for men. But let us face the reality. Let us face the reality. I am not encouraging sexual immorality in fornication, in adultery, or whichever way. But what has interested me to come to make up this video is the human capital development which this lady has come up with. Because as you know, I am a human capital developer. I am a human capital developer. So I am coming up stage by stage. By the grace of God, I already have things in stuff to as a educational structure and educational contents which I have to offer entire humanity. So it is important that both the male and the female learn to not depending on each other for finance. Let us keep relationship alone. There are many, the majority are the female, African female, not European female, not American female, because here in Europe and America, both male and female work. And barely every adult is financially independent in the Western world. And that is part of the secrets of their consistent success and financial progress. Every adult is every adult is almost financially independent. Because as I speak, I may be working in a company with an 18-year-old girl, and the girl may be earning the same salary that I earn. She may even be earning more than me, depending on the office she is occupying or the kind of service, the quality of service she can render to the company. While in other ways, I may be earning more than her. But the real truth is that she earns her money, I earn my money. She can live comfortably with her salary, with her own money, while I live comfortably with my own money. Even in the families, if you have a family of 6 members, the father, the mother, and the 4 children who are Europeans, and if all of the children had grown up to 18 years, if they do not continue their school into university level, the 6 of them will be working, and each of them will be earning salary, and they will have their financial independence inside of their family among the 6 people. And that makes life easier for them, because here, after the parents have trained any of their child up to 18 years, the child have the privilege to go and work. And Europe is structured to the extent that even a stark illiterate can begin a life in Europe. All the person needs is good health and his energy or her energy for labor work. With labor work, some people build life. Even myself saying this, I have been in labor work. I have no special skill in the company. It is labor work that I have been doing since consistently over 10 years. Labor work, like many others. I mean, even the Europeans. So this society called Europe and America, they are organized, even though the system is in control of the finance. But if once you are working, at least consistent the consistency of the work help you to build up with little and regular serving. You can come up with something. Then, coming back to the Nigerian girls, it is important that our girls begin to develop themselves. And beyond the girls, each of us should learn to begin to develop ourselves by acquiring skills, by acquiring creative educations, by living upright life. That is another issue she hates there. To learn to live upright life, which is understanding and executing righteousness. Understanding and executing righteousness. So before this video, I have written this book for some years before to tell you that I know where the trending, I know where the programming, I know where the happenings are heading to. And I really understand the reality of life. So it is God who led me to write this book, Understanding and Executing Righteousness. So this is amplified education on how to understand and to live upright life. So with time in the future, I would love to work with this young lady, Julie Adugo, if she is really serious, because I don't like inconsistent people. She may come up today and after 1 month or after 1 year, you will see her no more continuing with this. But I have been on this for consistent 15 years. And it is as if I am just beginning, because within that 15 years, I've been preparing on the background. So I'm just coming up. Many things are yet to pop up in this human capital development God's way. So that is what I am into. Developing people morally, it is very, very important. And to be honest with you, we cannot have a developed Nigeria until we have developed Nigerians. We cannot have a developed Biafra until we have developed Biafrans. We cannot have developed Africa until we have developed Africans. The Europeans, the Americans, they are not perfect, but they are far more developed than we are. Morally, skillfully, knowledgeably, understanding, and the reasoning. So, by intellectual power, they are far more developed than us. Morally, even in their weakness, they have their communal active constitution, which is their law, that restricts many people to not behave anyhow they choose. So with the enforcement of the law, even though the law may not be perfect, but both crimes and everything are being restricted. So many people were born into that system to the extent that they have not even really come to know what real corruption is like, because they were born in the existence of that law. So they began to learn discipline from their birth. And that have been the mindset and the restricted behavior pattern of over 90% of them. Even we who are African, who live in their midst, we have no choice than to adapt into that system. If not, you pay dearly for it. If not, you pay dearly for it. So that is the reason even we have come to begin to understand the importance of social development through social discipline, because this social discipline also transmits into moral discipline to some extent. But the perfect source of moral and social discipline is God. God and his word and his principle. So this contains the perfect principles to social discipline, to moral discipline, to human capital development to some extent. So another book here is Lost and Their Problems. Lost and Their Problems. So this because many people may want to live the upright life, but they may forget to discipline themselves. Without self-discipline, living the upright life is very, very difficult. And the lust, which is unrestricted desire and desperation to have whatever, that is lust. It's the greatest enemy of human progress in everything. So we are coming up. I love the video. I love the vision of this young girl. And by the grace of God, if I will come in contact with her and see her seriousness, I work with her and I will contribute to see that this vision progresses, because this vision aligns with my own vision and my own mission by the grace of God. So, and we should learn to outgrow the dependence of sex for survival, to the women. And if the women can really hold themselves as she has required, and that is how God has required. So she may not know that God is preaching through her by saying no sex until after marriage. That is the will of God. I said it yesterday in my video. Even though she may think that she's just contending against Geges University, she may not know that she is becoming instrumental into the hand of God and for propagating the gospel. Even when Christianity had not arrived in Africa and when Christianity had not emerged, even when Judaism had not emerged, at least human beings all over the world, we have the culture. They had the culture of moral discipline and the culture to respect sexual life. So that culture had come from origin from the biblical era, which was a principle embedded into the culture of humanity. Each culture of humanity all over the world respects sexual life. But the depravity of the modern society make people to become so reckless, having no regard and respect for sex. Sex is sacred, but people are abusing it anyhow. And this is one of the reasons most people are no longer connected to God. Many people are confused. Many people are confused. Upright life is what God required most. This upright life, as it should demand, it includes sexual chastity and being pure in heart, being straightforward, being truthful, and having dignity and integrity. There are many more to say about that. All of them are in the book, Understanding and Executing Righteousness. And so by the grace of God, in the future, I believe between now and the next 3 years, because of how the kind of programs I am having, so I have already set programs. So, but by the grace of God, I will be teaching little by little on human capital development, just as I have used this video to make my analysis. I have begun this topic and I will continue with this topic from time to time. And as I said, between now and the next 3 years, by the grace of God, I will write a complete book, which will be a frame structure, which will be the frame structure for my education on human capital development. That is making people valuable and marketable. And my own is God's way. Making people valuable and marketable. God's way. Developing people, making people to be creative, to be skillful, to be reasonably knowledgeable, and to have something to present to the world that the world will be patronizing, and for them to develop on how to behave themselves, to comport themselves, to act, to react, to face circumstances, and to conquer. May God bless you. And what I'm saying is manifesting in my own life. Human capital development. And I am an example of a human being who is capitally developed. By the grace of God, I am developed morally, knowledgeably, and skillfully, innovativeness and creativity. By the grace of God, as you know, I have become an evangelical author, evangelical educator, educating people the proper way to prosperity and success and relating with God, and to have good success. May God bless you. I remain your serviceable servant, evangelist Inimakalo, until I come your way once again.